Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Last night I had the most amazing, I don't know if you want to call it a download, a channeling, an epiphany, but I wanted to share it with you because it is so pertinent. It is so, when you get this, your life will change forever. Okay? So a couple nights ago, I had watched a video, a woman that I follow, and it was, the video was a note from your past self. I think it was past self. Anyway, doesn't matter. From your higher self, basically. And it was talking about things that you had been through, things in past lives, things that you needed to forgive, things that why things are for you the way they are. And it covered everything from love, relationships, whether it be with partners, your family. It covered things like fears, traumas, all of it. And I honestly, it was like she was speaking to me. Okay? It was like my higher self connected with her. And this was not a one-on-one. She was doing a YouTube for the collective. Okay? And thousands of people had already watched it. So I know it wasn't just me. However, what she was talking about completely resonated with me. So last night, in my quiet time, when I was meditating, I went into this place because it took me a day, 2 days, I guess, a day and a half, to sit with this and go, oh my, because it made so much sense. It made so much sense. So I sat with it to figure out how am I supposed to handle this? What am I supposed to do? And of course, you work through the emotions because there's a ton of stuff that comes up. You know, when you ask for answers, how you get them is not up to you. So, and I knew that, okay? And this is leading to my point. Okay, so stick with me because it's big, it's huge. So I'm laying there, quieting my mind, just trying to focus on forgiving myself, forgiving anyone that has ever done anything in my past, whether it be this lifetime or past lifetimes. Okay, so I'm laying there with the thought of forgiving whoever I needed to forgive, including myself. And all of a sudden, this thought came over me of there is no forgiveness. Forgiveness is a man-made construct. It comes from your ego, and it comes from the thought of judgment. And when you think about it, and it hit me, I was like, oh my gosh. It made so much sense. And it came from such a loving place, and it came from such a place of peace and love. And when you think about it, why do you need, God does not judge. Okay? God is not some 3D man in the cloud. And you guys know this. You know, so when you think of the concept that God doesn't judge you, why are we judging ourselves? It comes from ego. And when you think about why you need to forgive yourself, others, forgiveness comes from a judgment that something was wrong. somebody did something to you, somebody said something, you did something that was considered wrong, it's judgment. When you step back and you look at everything through the eyes of God, through Christ consciousness, there is no wrong. Everything is perfect. And I know this is it's a big concept to try to wrap your brain around. And it's a completely different thought process than what we've been conditioned to believe. So, but when you grasp this, everything shifts. Everything. The way you function, the way you look at life. Because when that hit me last night and it really sank in, this blanket of peace just surrounded me. And it was just this feeling of letting go of everything that I ever judged, that I ever blamed, that I ever thought was wrong. Because when you look back at your past, whether it be this lifetime or past lifetimes, and you see anything that's wrong, there is no wrong. It just is. Because every moment, every experience that you have, God is living through you. That's why you're here. Your soul is not judging you. Your soul isn't sitting inside you saying, you know what, you need to forgive XYZ. And sometimes when we get, because, okay, I could take this message that I got from this woman and say, okay, she says I need to go back and forgive myself. And take that on a literal level and be like this. And beat myself up over how am I going to forgive myself? How am I going to forgive those that wronged me in the past? Or you can just take the knowledge and be open to the process. Be open to the beauty of what God has for you, or the beauty of who you truly are, which is the essence of God. So, which is what I did. You know, I didn't get hung on, okay, no, I have to forgive myself. No, I have to forgive this person. When I stepped back and I saw, it takes seeing the bigger picture. It takes seeing it from an aspect that there is never a wrong. When you do everything out of love, and there is even in the situation where you might have done something to harm somebody, you said something intentionally to hurt someone's feelings, it's still not wrong. It still happened for a reason. It still gave the creator of all that is that experience. On two aspects. It gave the creator the experience through you of what that felt like to be angry, to be hateful, to be resentful, to be judgmental, to be whatever you were at that moment. And it gave the creator the existence on the other person's side of feeling the hurt, feeling the loneliness, feeling the whatever, the judgment, whatever they felt. And when you step, and I'm covered in chills, when you step back and look at it through the eyes of the divine, it's divine neutrality. It is not good, it is not bad, it is just neutral, it just is. Everything just is. And seeing your past, again, whether it be this lifetime, past lives, and because you've had many, whether it's whether you believe in past lives, parallel lives, they're all happening at the same time. Whatever you believe, things happened. They just are. It just is. And looking at it without judgment and just, it's not forgiveness, it's acceptance and grace. And that's what I heard. You know, when I'm laying there trying to forgive myself for what I did, what I said, whatever I needed to forgive myself for, or forgive others for doing something to me, it was just this beautiful wave that said, let forgiveness go. It's nothing but grace. And acceptance. And accepting, again, that it just is. It's not wrong. It happened for a reason. It happened for you. And like I said, I know this is not at all what we've been conditioned to believe or what we've been told. You need to forgive. You need to... No. Because again, that comes from judgment. Because if you think somebody did something to you, so you need to forgive them, that's judgment. That what they did was wrong. It just is. God's not judging it. The only person judging it is you. And again, that goes back to ego. And this is a time we've been told, and I've said this in numerous videos, this is the time to let go of what no longer serves you. This is the time to learn how to control your ego and not let your ego control you. This is the time to start looking at everything through a different lens, through the lens of unconditional love, through the lens of divine neutrality, through the lens that everything happens for a reason. There are no coincidences. There are no, oh shit, why? You know? And I'm telling you, as I'm like going through this process, the book I just wrote, Cultivating Peace and Purpose, popped in my head. It has transformed my life. It has transformed the lives of everyone that has read it. It's beautiful because it helps you see what I'm talking about, seeing things through a different lens. In fact, there's a chapter in the book about seeing things through a different lens. I'm going to leave the link below for my book because it's amazing. And it all ties together. So, hang on. I made notes because I knew this was deep and I knew there were points I wanted to cover. So, expanding your awareness from us and them. There is no us and them. We're all one. You know, everybody has their own thought, their own everything. But we're all one at the end of the day because it's like you and me and everybody else are like drops in the ocean. We're all part of the ocean. You're your own unique drop, but that doesn't mean you're separate from the rest of us. We all make up the divine. The divine is the ocean. It covers everything. It's energy. Energy. This just came to me. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, right? The divine is energy. It is the ultimate energy. Thinking that you're just separate, means that your energy had to be created. It was never created. It just was. It just is. It's part of the original. Energy can be transformed and transmuted. It changes. You're still energy. You're still part of the divine energy. You were never created outside of the divine energy, because that means energy had to be created. You weren't created. You just are. I just am. Does that make sense? That's beautiful. That is a way to look at it that it just came to me. The divine, somebody posted something on Facebook last night and I said, God is everywhere and everything. And their comment to me was, God is everywhere, but not everything. And I said, and my comment back to them was, if God is everywhere, then God is everything. It does. You can't be everywhere and not be everything. It just doesn't even make sense. God is everywhere because everything is energy. It's just a different your eyes perceive every energetic everything as something different. You see a table as something different than a chair, as something different than a person. It's all energy. When you leave your physical body is here simply so your 3D existence can differentiate you from somebody else or something else. That's the only reason your meat suit is here. Because our third eye is closed. It's not functioning to a point where we can, it's like the Matrix. When Neo saw the ones and zeros and the lines, that's all it is. It's just a different sequence of those numbers. It's just this different formula of energy. It's still all energy. So, God, that went off on a completely different tangent. Anyway, so there is no us and them. It's all us. So, again, there's no division. The dark side would like you to think there is division. They would like to keep us in division. They would like to keep us separate from the knowledge that you are an aspect of the divine. You are just as much God as that drop is part of the ocean, or is the ocean. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. Again, ego is where judgment comes from. When you think that you've been wronged, when you think that somebody screwed you over, when you think you were hurt or you were abused or whatever, it's judgment. It may have hurt, but again, it's judgment. It just is. And I know if you're struggling right now, my heart is with you. But it's not right or wrong, it just is. You are the creator of your existence. To get a different outcome, you have to change. You have to have a different mindset. Focusing on the problem, focusing on the situation is only going to perpetuate the situation. Focus on what you want. See what you want. So, anyway, that's a whole nother video. For the most part, when it comes to practicing divine neutrality, when you are in a situation where you start to judge, you want to say it's wrong, it's not right, it's bad, it's negative, it's whatever. Take a step back and take a breath and say, ask yourself, how can I see this situation without judgment? Take away all judgment. Take away, like in I think it was my last video, I talked about adjectives. Take away the adjectives that describe the situation that you're not happy in. Whether it's bad, it's messed up, you were screwed, you're broke, you're whatever. Step back and say, how can I see this without judgment? Stop judging it. Just see it for what it is. See it as energy. And then shift your energy to what you want. It's not going to just instantly appear, although sometimes it does. But sometimes there's a lesson in there that we need to learn. There's a process that needs to happen. Not only is it divine neutrality, it happens in divine timing. And not only are you the creator of your existence, but you're co-creating with everybody in your existence, which means you're co-creating with everybody in existence. Because again, we're all one. So it's when you look at things that happened in your past and you take away the judgment that it was wrong or it was bad or whatever, it's easier to see the lesson. It's easier to see why it happened. It's easier to see the beauty in it, because there's always something positive that comes out of it. So, and here's a good one. Release the need to be right. And I will tell you, I don't know what you guys are going through, but I will tell you, the other morning I woke up, well, it was like during the middle of the night, I woke up apologizing to my dad, who has passed, okay? Because I was having a dream, and my immediate response was, he said something, something happened, and I immediately snapped and said, no, it's this way. And I woke up at that moment, and it was like it was the lesson that I needed, because I was apologizing to him. I saw where it's like I always had to be right. And you're not always right. It's your opinion, but you don't have to always be right. You can agree to disagree. And sometimes you might think you're right, but you're so off base because you think you're right because of what you have been taught. When you realize that you might have been taught incorrectly, you need to back up. So that was one of those moments where the dream, it was like I won't say a wake-up call. I guess maybe it was. It was just one of those things where I don't always have to be right, because that's one of those things. It's like, and I still catch myself. It's like I jump and say, no, that's not right, because I have to be right. That comes from years of programming. That comes from, so yes, it is a process to change, but I'm still working on it. So let go of the need to always be right. And again, it's judgment. So that was big. And when you grasp what I've told you today, and it makes sense, you shift to a timeline that is unreal. It brings you such peace. It brings you such clarity. It brings you such comfort. It brings you to a place of unconditional love. It's amazing. You let go of the judgment, the resentment, the blame, the anger, all of those things that you've held on to for so long. I can go back and look at past versions of me, even in this lifetime, and judge it all day long. But why? It's not going to fix anything. It's not going to make tomorrow any better. It's not going to make this moment any better. It just is. Love you for who you are. Love you and everybody else for who they are. Because we are all divine expressions of God, of the Creator. And when you look at somebody else's life, and you look at somebody, when you look at somebody else and you see a fault, when you see that they're not doing it your way, when they're not doing it the right way, or they're being mean, they're being hateful, they're being whatever, where is it up to you to judge that? God's not judging it. It just is. So why are we judging it? It doesn't mean you have to accept it. It doesn't mean you have to invite that person in. If they're not something you vibrate with, they don't need to be in your existence. You can choose to go somewhere else. You can choose a different path. But don't judge it. I mean, it's easy nowadays to look at things and go, well, that's wrong, that's messed up, that's whatever. It just is. It's our human ego that judges whether it's right or wrong. And I will tell you, because this also came to me the other day, and eventually we will get to this point. We're not there yet. But when you do everything out of love, judgment goes away. All of it just is. Because you realize that harming someone else is in turn harming you. And you come from a place of, I don't want you to hurt me, so why am I going to hurt you? I don't want you to wrong me, so why am I going to wrong you? The whole do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It all comes back to love. When everybody comes to a place of doing everything out of love and divine neutrality, ego, judgment, all of it just goes away. There's no need for any of it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful to live in that place. Some of you are there. Some of you get this. And for that, I am beyond grateful. Because I can't be the first person on this planet that got this message. That there's no need to forgive anything. Just accept. You know what? If you did something that you regret, change it. Don't do it. Learn your lesson and don't do it again. If you were in a relationship and they didn't treat you the way you wanted to be treated, learn your lesson and don't let it happen again. Don't judge it. Learn the lesson. But don't see that person as a bad person because they did something to you. They were there to teach you a lesson, and not in a bad way, like you were a bad kid in school. Maybe you were. I don't know. But be grateful to that person for giving you that experience. It's up to you what you do with it. You can live in anger and resentment and blame and hate and all of that kind of thing and be miserable for the rest of your life or the whole time you're in it. Or you can just accept that person for who they were, have gratitude. See, and this is where when you step back and you look at the situation without judgment, you can see that that person just was. They just were. They were a product of everything they learned, just like you are a product of everything you've learned. Just because you are who you are doesn't mean they're wrong. That's judgment. It's just not you. It's all perfect because that person is giving God the experience through them. God can't have that experience through anybody else but them. Just like God can't have the experience that you are living through anybody but you. So there is no wrong. It just is. And I know I've said this a million times in this video. But it is that important that we get this. Because I want to say God loves you, but that's externalizing. God's not out there. You are God. You need to love you. So when you hear the saying, God loves you more than you'll ever know, my dear sweet soul, you need to love you more than you'll ever know. Because you are the divine. Accept everything as it just is. Be okay. Have grace. Give others grace and acceptance. Now, I'm not that. There are some people that would take that and go, oh, well, I'm just supposed to accept somebody being mean to me. No. No. I'm not even going to explain this. If you're not getting it, I can't explain this to you. I'm talking to those of you that get this. I'm talking to those of you that understand what I'm saying. This video is not for everyone. Some people will not ever get this in this lifetime. For those of you that get it, you are on your path to awakening. You have stepped into a whole new timeline. It is where we're headed. We're leaving the old nonsense behind. This is part of the bigger picture. This is part of where we're going. To understand that there is no need to forgive. You know, I pray you get this. I pray more people get this sooner than later. Again, I know this is a huge concept. If you want help shifting your mindset to see the bigger picture, see the beauty in the chaos, see the beauty in your journey, get my book. Reach out to me. So those are the points. Like I said, before you judge the next time, step back and take a breath. And look at the situation without judgment. Have compassion for the person, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they've been through. Maybe they treated you that way because they're in a bad mood, because something happened that, maybe somebody passed away. Maybe their pet died. Maybe somebody's sick. Maybe they're just having a bad day. We all have those. So have compassion for yourself and others. So anyway, I love you guys more than you'll know. So every time, use this as a catalyst, because this is just scratching the surface. Every time, look at everything that you see, you say, you do, and when you go to externalize whatever, step back. Because it's not all out there. It's all right here. So, have an amazing day. I send you so much love and so much light. Let me know. Comment below. If you're ready, if maybe you've already had this epiphany. Let me know. Maybe this opened your eyes to look at things in a different way. Maybe you're still working with it. Reach out to me. Let me know what you're going through. Again, this is not for those that just don't get it, that choose to stay in blame and anger and resentment. This is not for you. I pray you get it one day, because when you let go of that baggage, your life gets so much better. So anyway, I love you. Have an amazing day, and we will talk soon.